Welcome back, everyone, to another episode on Beer, Bourbon, and Games. I am your host, Chris, and today on the show, we are going to take a look at Evan Williams 100 Proof Bottled in Bond. This is one that I have not tried before, so I am curious to go ahead and see what it tastes like. This one is very, very affordable. It is $17.99 here where I live. Most places it ranges between the $15 to $20 mark. So this is a very good budget bourbon. So if you are on a budget, this is definitely going to be something that you're probably going to want to check out, but we'll find out for sure on today's episode. So, a little bit of stuff here. It is an Evan Williams product, which means it is made by Heaven Hill. So this is bottled in bond. So what does that mean? It means, one, that it is exactly 100 proof. Second, it is the product of one distillation season. It is under the Federal Bonded Warehouse Act, so it is in a federally bonded warehouse where they can go ahead and make sure everything is 100% the way it's supposed to be. The government looks over it, you know exactly what's going into your products, nothing's getting by them, and it is also under one master distiller. You cannot have anyone else do the product. It has to be under one guy the entire time. So that is bottled in bond in a nutshell. There's a little bit more to it. There are some other rules, and there are some reasons why bottled in bond became a thing, but we will talk about that in another video, in another one of those Bourbon 101 type videos. So this is a very, very affordable bourbon. So let's crack it open. Let's see what it tastes like, whether or not we should spend our 20 bucks on it or not. Now this is a no age statement bourbon, but it is aged for at least 4 years. So we do have that on our side. Now the mash bill is 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. So it is not super high on the rye, but probably going to get a little bit of spiciness here. Now if we take a look, since it is only aged the 4 years or around that, we are not going to get a lot of oak color and probably not a lot of oak smells either. We do have a nice, it's not quite liquid honey like some of the ones we're doing. There is a little bit more of a darkness to it. There is a dark hue to it. Almost looks like liquid leather. That's a weird way to describe it, but it's got the color of like a leather couch going on here. It's very nice looking. It looks like it is a, let's see how the legs go. Looks like a medium body. It's not coming down super quick. So we do have most likely a pretty good finish, probably moderate in length, but let's see how it smells overall. That's important. This is very sweet forward. If you're not a fan of sweet smelling bourbons, this might be a turnoff. I don't know how it tastes yet, but overall very, very sweet. I would say it's vanilla and caramel forward. Very, very strong vanilla and caramel smells. Brown sugar definitely is in there. It smells like burnt brown sugar. It's almost completely void of any oak flavors or smells. The wood is kind of there, but it's very, very minute. You're not going to really pick up much of it, if at all. Some clove. There's a little bit of spiciness to it there. Like a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg. Some baking spices. And some dried, darker fruits. But overall, I would say that the caramel and the vanilla are definitely winning out in this one. It's very, very sweet smelling. So overall, if you don't like that kind of sweet smell, you might not like this, but we'll see how it actually tastes. So let's go ahead and take our first sip and see if the smell matches the actual taste overall, if we're going to get a lot of those sweet scents, or if it's going to trick us here a little bit with our palate. The palate's a little different than what I thought it was going to be. It completely skipped the front of my tongue. It worked its way from the middle of my tongue back. It's a very faint taste. It's not lingering super long. It is still there, but it hits you up front and then it kind of cuts itself away pretty quickly. It does fade. The wood flavor is present. It's not overly present. It's not going to taste like you've got like a barrel in your mouth, but it is surprisingly a little bit more present than what I thought it would be, because the smell is almost non-existent. So this is kind of surprising that it is lingering there as much as it is. I get a lot of the sweetness up front. The characters of the French vanilla, the caramel, the nutmeg, the brown sugar are all very present. There's just a little bit of a mouth dry going on here. The amount of wood isn't super present, but it is kind of drying out my mouth a little bit, almost like what a red wine could do for you. The flavor of the wood lingers, the sweet is lingering. The spiciness hits you ever so slightly. It's not bad. It's not giving me a Kentucky hug at all. There's no warmth. I'm surprised that this is 100 proof bourbon. It does not taste like it. I would have thought that for 100 proof, we would have had a little bit more heat to it, but we don't at all. It is very pleasant. The 100 proof might scare off some people, so they might want to go ahead and throw in some ice cubes or however they might drink it, maybe a splash of water. I would say though, first give it a try without that, just to see how they like this, because it is drinking a lot less than what that 100 proof would really dictate to me. I would say you might still need some water if you're not really used to this, but I don't think you're going to need a lot. You might want to just kind of try a little bit of water first, kind of a dash, see how that waters it down for you, and then kind of go from there. But overall, it's a very pleasant drink. This is a very affordable everyday sipper. If you're a bourbon lover on a budget, you can't go wrong really with a bottled in bond from Evan Williams. I mean, Heaven Hill makes a lot of good products. They just won their second ever, I think it was San Francisco distillery choice, where there's bourbons and whiskeys from all over the world, and they have the only 2 whiskeys to ever win that award. Most of the time scotches and Japanese whiskeys and stuff win that. So Heaven Hill's doing good stuff over there. So for $20 or less, this is a very good product that I can highly recommend. There's nothing really wrong with it overall. I wouldn't feel bad bringing this out to a party. I think it's a good way to really kind of break the ice to someone as well for bourbon, kind of get them into it. There's no real harsh flavors. It's not overly complex. It's a very lightweight bourbon. It's not going to do a whole bunch of crazy things to you, so this might be something really good to start with, kind of work your way to other bourbons. But overall, I'd say this is pretty good. For the money, I would say it's gonna rate a little bit higher because of that. I would say out of 5, give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's not bad. It's not amazing. It's definitely middle of the road. It's something that you can easily afford and drink. So I would say, overall, get yourself a bottle of this if you have not tried it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I look forward to hearing what you think of this bottle. If you're new to the channel, think about hitting that subscribe button. Every little bit helps. Don't forget to share it out with your friends. And until next time, guys, remember, this bourbon, it's not going to drink itself. We're going to have to help it. Some good stuff.